What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today once again comes from the Froth Brewing Company, and they are out of Buffalo, New York, and this is their Frothsty, the sweet cherry, black cherry, and vanilla ice cream variant. So they are calling this one a dessert sour ale that is brewed with the aforementioned 3 ingredients. It comes in at 6% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 7 weeks old. So reviewing another Froth beer on the channel, another one of their pastry sour ales, but this is not a liquid lollipop. No, it is not. I don't know if this is going to be like a new series from them, but this is something that they released recently, and it's kind of different because they're using vanilla ice cream. Now, my one worry about this beer is it might be way too sweet. You're talking sweet cherry, black cherry, and vanilla ice cream, all pretty sweet in general. Hopefully the sour base kind of balances it out to some degree, but I had to grab this vanilla ice cream. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. So we're going to crack this one open, pour it into the hashtag proper glassware. Hopefully it doesn't explode everywhere, but it's been kept cold the entire time I got it. So yeah, anyway, that's crazy. Anyway, let's give it a pour here. Yeah, so it's pouring out like most of these crazily fruited sour ales do. So leave a little bit of room to get my nose in there. I'm thinking more of like a cherry ice cream kind of vibe with this one. That would be my thought process going in, but we'll see. So this pours out like the liquid lollipop bomb pop variant that I reviewed, maybe had to be what? Maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago. It had a crazy like finger head that is now displayed to a thin film because of all the adjuncts. It looks straight up purple in the glass, like a dulled up purple, turbid, murky, using all the, you know, crazily heavily fruited sour. So it's fruit puree basically. But yeah, that looks the role of what they're going for, I believe. So let's get a nose on it. Huh. So it smells pretty good, but it smells different. I kind of get like a ice cream kind of vibe to it. But it's almost like someone took cherry vanilla ice cream and kind of just melted it down into a glass. That's kind of what it smells like. It has a really big sweet nose to it. Yeah, it's like black cherry vanilla ice cream that somebody melted down into a glass. I'm not getting like a huge sour component. It's sweet, a lot of vanilla, a lot of cherry. That's like I said, the one thing that I'm worrying about with this beer is that it's going to be too sweet. I picked it up knowing that it could be too sweet. And some of the liquid lollipops, a little bit on the thing here. We'll wash my hands afterwards. The one thing that I've notice about some liquid lollipops, and a lot of heavily fruited sour beers, a lot of times they're too sweet. There's not enough of a kind of sour base or acidity to kind of balance it out. So that's my worry with this one, but it smells pretty good, just might be too sweet. So let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. And that is the problem. That is without question the problem for me. Right off the rip. So body on this one's like lower side of full body. It's thick, it's syrupy, it's fruit puree. So if you've ever had a heavily fruited sour ale that kind of looks like this, you know that the body's approaching full, if not full. The mouthfeel, it's creamy. It's very smooth and soft on the palate. This doesn't have as much carbonation as a lot of the liquid lollipops do to kind of, I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. Like some of the liquid lollipops, I want that soft, smooth, creamy kind of mouthfeel, and some I want more of a carbonation. I'm okay with this one not being like aggressively carbonated. It's like mildly carbonated. I'm fine with it because it kind of enhances the experience of what they're trying to go for here. That said, I can tell you right now, this is for what they're going for, it's a bit too sweet for me. And I like sweet things. Like I'll probably enjoy sweet beers more than the average craft beer drinker. It's a little bit too sweet. Let me go in for one more sip and then we'll start talking about taste. So a lot of times when I do a review, I'll say front of the palate, middle of the palate, back of the palate, because that's kind of how beers hit me. Like you front half of the palate, you'll get a certain characteristic. Middle of the palate will change up, and then you have the finish on the back of the palate. This one really doesn't have that going on for it. It's very simplistic in its delivery to the palate, and it's not bad. Like, I enjoy the flavors here. I just know that, like, I'd rather have this in an 8-ounce can without question. This tastes like someone took melted down, specifically black cherry, or you could even mistake it for like black raspberry, but like black cherry, black raspberry, vanilla ice cream. They melted it down, they threw it in your glass, and now it's 6%. That's kind of what I'm getting, and that's omnipresent throughout the entire palate. That is what I'm getting without question. There is a slight acidic kind of bite on the back of the palate. There's an underlying very mild tartness, very mild from the base. I mean, I'm not going to say you're bullshit yet. I love the flavor. Like, the flavor's delicious. But I've taken how many sips of this beer? I think this is a 13-ounce glass. So let's see if I can, if I pour, oh man, there's like chunks and shit. And I kept this upside down. All right, so I have drank, according to them, I believe this is like a 13-ounce glass. So I've drank 3 ounces so far, right? I've poured the rest of the chunks in. Here we are. I'm going to take one more sip here. The chunks really didn't do anything. I will say this. Flavor-wise, they nailed it. If they were going for like a cherry type of ice cream, they've nailed it. But they call it dessert sour ale. The sour aspect getting kind of lost. So I will say, as far as the flavor is concerned, fucking amazing. As far as the drinkability and what I want from this beer, I've drank, so let's say 3.5 to 4 ounces of this. I would probably stop at the halfway point of this can and be like, that's done. Too much of the same flavor. Too sweet for me. The whole 9. So I'm going to give it an appropriate rating on kind of what they went for, encompassing what I think about it and how I would feel drinkability-wise. I'm going to give this beer I'm going to give it a low 4 out of 5 and go 3.9 out of 5. I think they've nailed the flavor, but I need more of that like tart, sour base ale to kind of break up the monotony of that sweet cherry ice cream flavor, because that's all it is sweet cherry ice cream. And if you love cherry ice cream or black cherry ice cream or black raspberry ice cream, I would think you would love the flavor profile of this. But it's one of those things where I'd want half of that can, maybe a 12-ounce can if I'm stretching it, but a 16-ounce can, no way. I don't know. I'm going to hopefully try to finish this. That's the thing. This is not like a drain pour, but like it's after 4 ounces, I'm already starting to be like, oh man, this is super sweet. I don't need any more of it. So not a bad beer whatsoever, and I think they've nailed what they're going for. I just think they need more sour, more of a sour component to just stop it from being too sweet, because there's no bitterness here. There's not like a dry finish. It's just sweet and sweet and sweet. So a little bit too much for me, but it's cool they tried something, and it's cool that I get like vanilla ice cream out of it. You know, granted, it's black cherry vanilla ice cream. Still delicious. Anyway, price and availability. Price point on this, $25 4 pack. That's kind of in the realm of what these beers go for. So not going to sit here and argue whether or not that's a good value or not. On the eye of the beholder. If you think that's a great value, then buy it up. If not, totally get it. So I bought a single can at the One Stop Brew Shop. I think I paid like $7 for it. So a little bit of a jump for a single can, but this is one of the, so I've said this before. It's tough paying $25 for a 4-pack of something like this. If I would have bought a 4-pack of this, I would be disappointed, because I don't think I'd want to drink the other 3, just because like I can only drink a half can. Now, if it came in 4-pack, 8-ounce cans for, you know, $12 to $15 a 4-pack, sure, that's cool. But it's $25 a 4-pack, and I'm probably not going to be able to drink the other 3 if I would have bought a 4-pack. So I'm glad I bought a single can. Availability, typically Froth is here in the Buffalo area, brewery only, but then they get to some stores in Rochester, I believe, the One Stop Brew Shop, and then AJ's Beer Warehouse in Henrietta, New York. Outside of that, I think they give a couple other places like in the Finger Lakes region as well. But here in Buffalo, I think Froth's the only place you can actually buy their stuff. I've never seen them at any bottle shops that I go to, outside a couple of their IPAs, but none of their heavily fruited sours. So if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. I think it's a very interesting beer. I was curious to try to see like how much different than a liquid lollipop variant it is. And I would say this is one of the sweeter Froth beers I've had. And if you have a sweet tooth and you enjoy these pastry sour ales because they're sweeter, this is your jam all day, every day. If not, and you're looking for some kind of sour tart base, this is definitely not your jam. I'm somewhere in between, so 3.9 out of 5. So appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol 6%. Do these have alcohol in them? Some people say definitely not. I don't know. Maybe. Till the next one. Cheers.